Elon Musk just revealed a major thing that a lot of people aren't even thinking about. One important note is that the United States national debt is continuing to rise like absolute madness. We are continuing to see huge amounts of insane spending going way over what anyone even thought was possible before. Massive amounts of money being printed and pouring into different sectors all over the place, recklessly being spent. Politicians continuing to dig us deeper and deeper into this hole of debt, as a very few call them out, but most continue to act like sheep and cower behind different things, not willing to say the truth, which is that the United States government and other governments as well across the globe have been completely and totally being irresponsible, reckless, and causing massive amounts of future distress that we are yet to even start to discover at its full level. We already see some of the implications now, some of the impacts on the negative side, but this is nothing compared to what may be coming soon, and that is exactly why Elon Musk is continuing to sound the alarm, and exactly why there's one move you can make right now that could help you protect yourself against what is happening with this. One of the reasons why we're so optimistic in the future. You wonder why we have hyperinflation, says John Wick. I like your movies, by the way, but yes, you do wonder what the heck. But take a look at this Elon Musk tweet, which is absolutely true and has so much more than you may even think behind the scenes. So this is the tweet. The Babylon Bee made a joke that the president was about to go all in on betting on the Bengals for the Super Bowl with $30 trillion, which is the entire national debt. So then there we go. If the Bengals win, the United States will be completely and totally debt-free. Thank gosh. If the Bengals lose, then unfortunately we would have a $60 trillion debt. But at least he's trying something. So thanks to the government for at least making an effort there. Obviously, that's a joke article. They're just making fun of the national debt, and they're making fun of it through the lens of Super Bowl. And the Elon Musk commented actually something that had a lot of truth in it underneath. A joke? Well, response is an actual truth amount here. True national debt, including unfunded entitlements, is at least $60 trillion, roughly 3 times the size of the entire U.S. economy. Something has got to give, and he's 100% right about that. As it continues to build, we are yet to see a lot of the worst consequences from this, and that is what's scary. If you just came in, take a second to actually press the dislike button. Let's see how many dislikes we can get on this video. Who knows? Maybe we can get an infinite amount. Maybe, just maybe. But you can't even see them anymore because YouTube is censoring likes and dislikes for some reason, or dislikes at least. Come on, YouTube, turn back on the dislikes. If we have a bad video, I want to dang know it. And then we'll make it better next time, or we'll make it even worse just for fun, because who cares? It's just a dislike. Let's go, says Crypto 5G. with a rocket ship and was that a syringe? Oh my gosh, you guys are crazy. Would he remember who is playing in the Super Bowl? It says where fly. Ash says to the moon. William says Dogecoin to the moon. And a couple more to the moon comments. You love to see that, but what you don't love to see is the debt, right? But anyway, so basically what Elon Musk is referring to in terms of the national debt is this. So it may look like it's actually approximately, it says here $30 trillion. It actually just went to that amount. We've had what, like $10 trillion in the last year or two being spent, which is insane. But truth for accounting, the actual real US debt consists of more than that, because it is actually inclusive of multiple other things, including approximately $41 trillion in unfunded social security payments, as well as $55 trillion in unfunded Medicare benefits. So the stat Elon Musk is referring to is this, the 41 trillion in unfunded social security, which in theory is guaranteed by the government, which means that would leave the debt at around 70 billion. So Elon Musk was actually underestimating a little bit with his 60 billion number. And the truth is, what has to give? Well, it's simple. The US dollar's value has to give. That's really the only answer here, and it's not fortunate if you're holding a lot of the US dollar, but it could end up being a very positive thing if you have a huge amount of cryptocurrency like Dogecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum. Those are going to be the ones where you can actually hedge against that insane inflation. As the dollar goes down, the value of those cryptos will proportionally go up. So there we go, boom, now there's a solution, now there's an answer, and there's also room for a future catalyst that could be so unbelievably massive for cryptocurrency that it will absolutely take the top off of it. Now, it would unfortunately mean that we'd have to see the value of the dollar collapsing in order to see that specific catalyst. There are other catalysts too, that's not the only one, right? But that would be one of them that could cause, in relation to the dollar, the price of cryptocurrency to go absolutely nuts. Now, we don't want to see the dollar collapsing, but we really at this point have no way to avoid the loss of value of the dollar to at least an extent, to a degree that is not pleasant whatsoever for large dollar holders. And that's one of the reasons why so many people are turning to crypto more and more. And Elon Musk was not even including the other amounts that are also very big. Like I mentioned, that 55 trillion in unfunded Medicare, as well as a couple other ones. The amount that the government owes in terms of publicly held debt, then also the civilian and retirement benefits, as well as military, that's around 9 trillion more. And then also other liabilities around 2 trillion, and it's even higher than that. This article is actually a little bit on the older side, but still huge amounts of debt that's owed, and government spending is not even slowing down. You would think they would at least slow it down. Well, no, it's actually ramping up. Even in the face of this, even in the face of how bad it's looking, how treacherous it appears to be, they're still increasing spending massively. Now, that has resulted in the government receiving an F in terms of economic viability, the US government. Not good. Now, there's other governments across the globe that are doing the same thing. There's a lot of them, actually, a surprisingly large amount. But still, it's obviously not good. Hashtag Bleenu says Sky Pigeon, and Doge to the Moon says Scotty. Elon with the hard eyes. Elon is continuing to be a warrior for truth on Twitter. Obviously good to see. Thanks Elon for continuing to stand up for the people. Dogecoin being one prime example, but also many other examples of that. Elon Musk also posting on Twitter today a beautiful picture of one of his rockets, Starship. And this is not just any Starship rocket. This is Starship Super Heavy, the rocket that is going to actually take Dogecoin to the moon. Look how unbelievably massive this thing is. It almost looks like it shouldn't even be capable of flying. The way it's designed, with being that tall, with being that big and that heavy, it's surprising that it's even something that exists and can take humans to the moon. I mean, you wouldn't think if something with this shape and size would even be capable of flying, but physics, mathematics makes it possible, and Elon Musk, obviously being the king of that, has really truly changed the game for space travel. Doge, hashtag Bleenu to the moon, says Bo Clark. How do you say your name? Bayo Clark. I hope I got it right. I'm sorry if I didn't. Ash says it looks like a you know what. Does it look like a you know? Yeah. I mean, well, what can we say? That shape of a you know what happens to be the shape that is most ideal for rockets in terms of aerodynamics. So it is what it is. What can we say? My goal in life is to own, especially with Blue Origin's rocket, right? I mean, that one was not, they didn't even try to not do it, right? It looks like they intentionally did it that way. My goal in life is to own all the Moon Dogex NFTs from Eric. That's an awesome, admirable goal there with Dogex NFTs. If we can see a big Dogecoin spike combined with the NFT market going up, then those things will just go absolutely crazy. And I predict both those things will happen. The NFT market will go up on ETH, and we will see a Dogecoin spike almost certainly. So that is an optimistic view that you can have on Dogex NFTs right now. And I think that if you're holding, you may be making one of the smartest decisions that you've made. Hopefully we'll see it going absolutely crazy soon here. National debt is highly consisting of black budget programs dealing with reverse engineered alien tech. What is it? Oh, well, dude, don't. I mean, we don't. So that was a comment coming in from Funny Fur Family. Now, I don't like to talk about controversial stuff like that. So I actually would ask you to please not comment controversial stuff as a super chat, because what if I read it? So definitely don't do that. I would prefer to stay away from controversial stuff as much as possible. I just want to talk about the news, what's happening with it, and be as unbiased as I possibly can be. Matt, you are ideal, says Q-Aid Bryson with the smiley faces there. Thank you for that, with multiple smiley faces. So much appreciated there. Daddy D, I'm going to check that out. Thanks for sharing, says Sheila. And when will Elon Musk put Dogecoin on the moon? We're looking at really soon here in 2021 when that's going to happen, as we also do have a couple of other big stories over the last 24 hours. Take a look at this. So the feds, as you know, they have recently seized 3.6 billion in stolen Bitcoin that was from the Bitfinex hack. This happened years ago, more than 4 years ago. So this is a very old hack, and you may have thought they weren't ever going to get caught. Well, no, not so fast. The government is all over their case. Basically, we're now starting to learn the details of exactly how the feds were able to catch these two people, a couple who laundered a massive amount of Bitcoin and kept it in a decentralized wallet for a while. But that has now been absolutely revealed who they are. They've tried multiple different paths in order to hide it. You can go through different programs and different online things where you can go transaction through a bunch of different cryptos and try to hide it that way. Well, that's not going to work. The government now has technology that can track that. Then also you can try to use one of these dark web exchanges. There's one that they actually used, which is in part what led to their downfall. So they used one of these exchanges, which as we scroll down here, you can see it was actually taken down by the government. That exchange is Alpha Bay, and it was a dark web one where you could basically exchange Bitcoin without having to worry about a lot of that security things. But through doing that, in 2017, when that happened, they tried to take some of the money out that way. Then they had to actually put some trail on there that then has now led to them being caught, because Alphabet, after being taken over by the government and shut down, well, that gave the government access to a lot of the information, and they were then able to find out exactly what the trail was here and have been able to track these people down. And the government is only ramping that up more. It actually adds a level of security, it adds a level of comfort knowing that if you are a thief, if you do try to steal crypto, you're not going to get away with it. And you can try, but no matter how many years later, no matter how many hours you've spent thinking that you're safe, you're not. If you steal money, you're going to get caught at some point down the line, most likely, and you'll never ever be able to sleep easy again knowing that you took the money, because at any point the government will come and knocking on your door and put you in handcuffs, just like they did with this couple here. A very unusual couple, by the way. Like, they made some strange videos on YouTube, I have to say. Well, what are your thoughts about Bleenu and where it will be by the end of the year? Oh yeah, I'm excited about Bleenu. Think about it. When you have a coin with this type of community that's already here, and then you start looking at exchanges, then you start looking at other things like that that are coming, then you start looking at the potential for the meme market to just go absolutely crazy. The name's good, the website's amazing, people are going to want to ape in, I think, to Bleenu, and that's where the excitement comes. Slippy Fist in the house says, Philip, let's do Doge Army. We can pump this uptrend to the moon, says Philip, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rockets there. You love to see it. Look at all those rockets. An absolute symphony of rockets. Elon Musk will be proud of that comment there. And yeah, obviously we want to see Dogecoin and the Doge community continuing to do cool things. Dogecoin to the moon with a hashtag in front, says Kate, as we are seeing exactly a few of the other techniques they used. And basically, it's reassuring. They also went through a Russian language marketplace called Hydra, which they thought that could get them through to the other side without being traced. Nope, not so fast. Basically, every single move they made, they tried their best and they could not figure it out. The government also has the ability, think about this, if you try to put a large amount of money through any exchange, especially at one time, if you try to do multi-million-dollar things, then the government can notice those and have maybe say a few thousand that were done on this day within this proximity to this transaction. They can see all of them, and then they can say, okay, well, let's narrow it down to this one, let's narrow it down to this one, and then they actually have the ability to trace some of those even further. It's kind of like what they do with DNA and catching criminals. They can do the same type of thing with financial trails on crypto, because the blockchain will always be there. And that just makes it really hard to get away with crimes in crypto. Look up Snoop Dogg new music video. It has a Shiba Inu and it's on Mars. It's called Subwoofer by Snoop Dogg. Oh, that's pretty cool. Actually, I've not seen that yet. That would be an interesting video to watch. Subwoofer by Snoop Dogg. Actually, I'm gonna watch that right after I get off the live, and then maybe we can talk about it on the next live. Or I mean, I guess I could put up now. I just have to be careful, because if it ends up playing at all with the music, it could copyright this video, which obviously we don't want. But yeah, let me go and pull it up. So it's called Sub. That's funny. Sub woof, like a woof of the dog. Subwoofer Snoop Dogg. Here's the video here. Oh wait, is that, you mean from 3 months ago? That's actually kind of an older music video. I remember him posting that, actually. He posted this a while back, and he had a Shiba Inu on the Mars, and I think he also had it on other planets too. Yeah, I remember that video. That was actually a good video. But no, that is unfortunately not a new video. He posted that a while back. But Snoop, we would love to see you posting more of those again, as the Dogecoin price right now is still hovering around 15 cents. We have seen a little spike today of a very small amount, but overall this week, we've seen it going up from 14 to 15, and it was up at 17 even for a little bit. So it is feeling more energy right now. It is in the motions of hopefully causing another big breakout on the sooner side. We know what'll happen eventually. The question is just at what point, how long will we be waiting? Hopefully not very long. Dogecoin to the moon, says Chanel Mabla, member for 7 months. That's awesome. Think about that. We've had members on our channel now for what? 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, 10 months, 12 months. I mean, it's crazy to think how long our community has been together for, how long we're continuing to have fun for. And the best part is, even though it's been a long time, we're still just barely scratching the surface of what's going to happen here. We're barely scratching the surface of what we're capable of and what we're going to see with this market. So that's where the real excitement comes in. But anyway, hopefully you have a good night tonight or day if you happen to be one of those strange people who lives in a different time zone than me. But anyway, I'm Matt Wallace. Enjoy the Patreon if you're not part of it yet. This is Final Stand, and I will see you in the next video.